They began the charade carefully. Public appearances. Hand-holding. Smiles timed perfectly for cameras. Alina told herself she was immune to him, to the way his voice softened when he spoke her name, to the way he instinctively positioned himself between her and any threat, real or imagined. But nights were harder. Sometimes she would find him in the kitchen long after midnight, sleeves rolled up, staring out at the city like it was an enemy he refused to turn his back on. They would talk then about nothing and everything, about the weight of expectations, about loneliness that didn't care how powerful you were. Asterisk, you don't look like a king when you're tired. You don't look like someone pretending when you smile like that. Asterisk, the slow burn began there, in stolen moments and shared silences, in the way he learned how she took her coffee and she learned how to read his moods by the tension in his jaw. Alina found herself laughing more, sleeping better, dreaming dangerously. And then came the first cracked out at a gala packed with elites and predators disguised as philanthropists. Adrian introduced her as his future wife. The word wife landed in her chest with a shocking thud. His hand lingered at her waist longer than usual, his thumb brushing slow, unconscious circles into her skin. Asterisk later that night, when the doors were closed and the world was far away, Alina confronted him. Asterisk, you didn't warn me, she said, her voice trembling with something she refused to name. Asterisk, his expression was dark, conflicted. I didn't plan it. Asterisk, then why did you say it? Asterisk, because, he said, stepping closer, it felt true. Asterisk, the air between them turned electric. His fingers brushed a strand of hair from her face. Slow, reverent. Elena's heart pounded as she looked up at him, every instinct screaming danger and desire in equal measure. Asterisk, they didn't kiss? That somehow made it worse. The twist came the night Alina discovered the contract. Asterisk, she hadn't been snooping, just looking for a book in his office when a folder slid free from a shelf. Her name stared back at her in cold, typed letters. Pages detailing her background, her vulnerabilities, the calculated reasons she had been chosen, and at the end, a clause that made her knees go weak. Termination upon emotional involvement. She confronted him with shaking hands and burning eyes. Asterisk, you planned this, she accused, from the beginning. Asterisk, Adrian's face drained of color. Alina asterisk, I was never a coincidence, she said, her voice breaking. I was a strategy. Asterisk, the pain in his eyes was real. Raw. At first, he admitted, yes, but not anymore. Asterisk, don't, she whispered, don't turn this into another lie. Asterisk, she left that night, walking away from luxury and illusion alike. Her heart in pieces she didn't know how to gather. Asterisk, days passed. The Alpha King had lost control, deals collapsed, rivals circled, and Adrian realized, too late, that power meant nothing without the woman who had seen him when the crown slipped. Asterisk. He found her in the same tier room where it all began, sunlight catching in her hair, like forgiveness waiting to be asked for. Asterisk, I released you from the contract, he said quietly. I burned it. Asterisk, she didn't look up. You can't undo what it made me feel. Asterisk, I don't want to undo it, he said. I want to earn you, without lies. Just me. Silence stretched, heavy and fragile. Finally, Alina met his gaze. If I choose you, she said, it's because you're a man, not a king. Asterisk, his voice broke. Then choose me. Asterisk, she stood, closing the distance between them, placing her hand over his heart. This time, she said softly, we don't pretend. Asterisk, he smiled, then not the Alpha King's smile, but Adrian's, and for the first time. And the quiet miracle of two hearts that found each other in a lie and chose to make it real. She was lifting the porcelain teacup to her lips when a shadow fell across her table, and a woman with silver hair and eyes sharp enough to cut glass leaned close and whispered, pretend you're my son's fiancé right now. Asterisk, Alina froze, the delicate china trembling in her hand as she looked up at a stranger who radiated authority and danger in equal measure. The tea room had been quiet moments ago, all soft music and the scent of bergamot, and now her heart was slamming against her ribs like it sensed something monumental had just begun. Before she could ask a single question, a man's presence filled the space beside her chair. Broad-shouldered, devastatingly handsome, with dark hair brushed back and eyes the color of a storm just before it breaks. Asterisk, there you are, the man said coolly, his gaze sweeping over Alina with an intensity that made her breath catch. I wondered where you disappeared to. Asterisk, the woman smiled with sharp satisfaction. Ah, there you are. My son. I see you've finally found her. Asterisk, Alina barely had time to stand before the man's hands settled at the small of her back. Warm and possessive, as if it had always belonged there. Something primal flickered across his face, surprise, irritation, and then a dangerous kind of acceptance. He leaned down, his mouth near her ear, his voice low. If you embarrass me, I will never forgive you. Asterisk, if you don't let go of me, she whispered back. I might actually faint. Asterisk, to her shock, he chuckled softly, fingers tightening just enough to steady her. Try not to. Asterisk, and just like that, Alina was swept into a lie so grand it felt like destiny sharpening its teeth. Asterisk, his name was Adrian Blackwood, the alpha king of a powerful dynasty that ruled the city's business and political underworld with iron control masked by charm. His mother, Vivian Blackwood, was a woman whose approval was more dangerous than her disapproval, and she had decided on a whim or a calculation. Alina didn't yet understand that. Alina would serve a purpose. Asterisk, over tea that went cold. Alina learned the rules in murmured conversations and loaded glances. Adrian needed a fiancé, someone unconnected, believable, and temporary to silence rumors that threatened his authority. Vivian needed proof that her son was capable of loyalty, softness, and commitment. Alina needed the generous compensation Vivian offered, enough to finally escape a life that had taught her to survive, not dream. Asterisk, I won't sleep with you, Alina said later that evening, standing in a penthouse living room that overlooked the city like a throne above the world. Asterisk, Adrian arched a brow. I didn't ask you to. Asterisk, I won't be controlled. Asterisk, you will be protected. Asterisk, their eyes locked, tension snapping between them like a live wire. I don't need protection, she said quietly. That, he replied, just as softly, is where you're wrong.